Someone said the average millennial is 36 years old and has nothing to their name. And they're living basically paycheck to paycheck with roommates in their 30s, not married, no kids because they can't afford it. And in fact, what they do have is a bunch of debt. So their future self already knows that they're going to be broke, they're going to be poor. So we're essentially in a trap that we literally cannot get out of no matter how much we work, no matter how many jobs we have. A lot of people have a full-time job during the week and then Uber on the weekends just to make some extra money. That in itself sets you up for depression. I mean, think about working and having nothing to show for it. No savings, no investments, no house, nothing. Then you have their parents, the baby boomers, who are essentially the richest generation ever, who were able to support a family on one income, educated, have a house, savings, retirement. So where's this American dream that we've heard of? It's now turned into the baby boomer dream because you can't even get better than what your parents had.
I need to talk to my parents because they're not rich, but they didn't invest. They didn't thrive during their times. Like this illusion that everyone that was a boomer just thrived and they were so successful. I don't know, man. I don't know where that narrative came from, but I did not grow up in a rich household. I actually grew up in a poor household. Most of my friends, they talked about the struggle. We talk about the meals that we ate when we didn't have food in the fridge. I don't know this illusion that everyone comes up saying how, the boomers were just like loaded. It's not my lifestyle, right? I did not grow up that way. A majority of people right now are struggling, especially millennials. They're struggling because of different reasons. Now, let me break it down. What's happening now with the millennials, and I am a millennial, so I can speak on behalf of the millennials, is a lot of us, yes, went to college, got a lot of student loans. A lot of boomers, a lot of them didn't really have to go to college where it was as expensive. So a lot of us are making bad decisions as well. We're getting student loans we can't afford. A lot of us, a majority of us, were told no a whole bunch of times growing up. So as soon as you got the opportunity to get credit cards, and since money talk was never a thing in our household, we started using credit cards and racking up credit card debt. Or if we did grow up in a household where people all they did was travel and they'd spend so much money, then you then wanted to do the same thing, even though you didn't have the money for it. So now you're trying to sustain this lifestyle that you feel like you should have, or a lifestyle that you did have because what your parents had, right? Majority of parents, in my opinion, never did, but that's a different discussion. So now you're racking up all this debt. Now you're saying, oh, my parents got a house and everyone's getting a house, and let me get a house. So now you put yourself in a situation that all you're doing is you're just checking off things on the list just because you feel like that's what you need to do. And then by the time you recognize, like, wait, this is not the things that I need to do because I can't afford it. Like, there is a proper way to get all that stuff if you want to get it. Buying a house is something you don't need, but some people just want to buy a house. But there's an order, right? Saving 20%, 15% for down payment for a house, not using everything on credit cards, being patient. Your 20s is supposed to be nasty and messy until you figure things out in life. And now here you are, a majority of us, like struggling and broke, and millennials are saying how they're roommating. First of all, that's not true. Okay? There's a lot of struggle going on right now, no doubt. There's so many people right now in so many credit card debt, no doubt. The average savings account balance is like $500. No, we know that. Like, there's no surprise with that. But to say every millennial is like not doing good and roommating or whatever, come on, that's a very, very, very broad statement. There's a lot of people who are actually, she said, people doing Ubers and side hustles to get out of that situation. That way they could enjoy all the money that they actually get from the job. You see, a lot of people are struggling right now is because of the fact of, just imagine life if you had no bills. When I say no bills, I mean like credit card bills or student loans, right? And you have no car payment, nothing. The money you're making right now most likely will be enough, right? To save, invest, and to have money on the side. We all dream of the day of just having no debt. A majority of us is like, yo, that's all we want to do is have no debt. So in reality, a lot of the situations that we're going through is not because the economy is bad. For some people it is, but it's also due to the fact that we make a lot of dumb decisions, right? When the economy is booming, we want to buy more, we want to go out. Oh, interest rates on homes are 2%. Let me just buy a house, even though I couldn't afford it. Let me get this house, let me get this car. We put ourselves in a bad position. And then when the economy takes its turn, because it always does, when the tide goes down, we're screwed. We're all exposed, and you can see all the weaknesses that you had because you never built the right financial foundation. That's exactly what happens. And so many people just don't become mature to the fact of they need to handle the money responsibly, right? Like rich people know when the economy is going down and things ain't right, you cut back. But some people don't want to cut back. Some people want to maintain the lifestyle because they tie themselves to liabilities where they can't cut back on. Right? You can't cut back on the house you live in. You can't cut back on the car you own. You can't cut back on that because that car payment that you were able to afford, now you're not able to afford because the economy is not moving the way it's moving. And then you're also dealing with inflation. Right? These are the things that I just wish that a lot of people understand that exactly what's going on. And that's why I always preach, I don't want to say financial literacy because it is important, but just financial discipline. And being disciplined with your finances in order to not put yourself in a situation where you're screwed. And that's exactly what she's saying, right? That's exactly what she's saying. But the whole point that these videos make me cringe is to make it sound like it's doomsday. It's not doomsday for everyone out there, right? It's not. Like sometimes you do have to do what you have to do. She's right. I actually did Uber and I did DoorDash and Instacart on the weekend as well. And yeah, I didn't say I got depressed, but there was moments I was sitting in my car and I'm like, damn, what am I doing? Right? I went to school for accounting and for finance. I should be doing better. I should be doing better. But that little emotion that I had only lasts like 5 to 10 minutes. And the reason being is because it's like, I put myself in this position where I had so much liabilities in my lifestyle that I have to do something like this in order to get out. And this is temporary, right? I'm not going out there doing deliveries and making all the extra money, as an accountant. Believe it or not, I was embarrassed to tell people. And then one day I was like, F it, I don't care. I'm out here to make money. I got to handle my business. Well, most people are in debt and they want to get the hell out. I'm actually doing something about it. And that's why I recognize like, yo, you got to do what you got to do, right? You have to do what you have to do. So don't be ashamed or put yourself in some type of depression because of your past mistakes. The best thing you want to do is try to get rid of it as fast as possible. That way you don't have all those moments where you're sitting back, reflecting, and then you start getting depressed and start getting sad like, yo, all this shit that I did. And look, right? I make all this money right now and I can't even appreciate it because it's tied to so many liabilities. Well, guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do you think the millennials are cooked? Well, not even the millennials, guys. Really, it's a Gen Z. You think everyone is cooked as well? Or do you think it's like, yo, people just need to face reality? And the quicker you face reality and you tackle the issue, the faster you can move on. Drop a comment down below, guys. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.